what would you tell women about mammograms?
If you keep doing mammograms, then you're for sure you're going to find it, because the mammograms actually produce cancer. Well, now, think about what's happening. You take breasts, which are very sensitive. Men can't appreciate it as much as women do, but women who have breasts know that they're very tender. You can't, women have often come in like from playing volleyball or some sort of sport. If they get hit in the breast, it's kind of like a man getting hit in the testicles. It's very, very painful. So they take the breast and they actually squash them. And then when you're squashing it and you're feeling pain, that means you have initiated a process called inflammation. So inflammation means there's increased blood flow. The blood vessels are leaking to leak in more white blood cells and oxygen. And so there's a big message. So the signs of inflammation are red, hot, painful, and swollen. So if you got the pain, you know that the inflammation is going on. Red, hot, painful, and swollen. So now that's what's going on. You're doing that to it. Then you take ionizing radiation and you irradiate inflamed, acutely injured tissue. It's madness. It's madness. Now, you notice that the system doesn't do that with prostates or testicles, only with breasts. So that's why I really think it's a male-dominated madness. And when they're not sure if the results are equivocal, they send them for a breast ultrasound to make sure. Well, so if the breast ultrasound is a little bit better and more detailed, why don't we just use that as a screening device, because it has no toxicity at all? So let's do that, and then don't even do the mammogram, because the mammogram is really looking for calcifications. Calcium enters any cell. It's kind of the last-ditch effort at alkalinizing. Calcium, there's a great book you might want to read someday. It's called Death by Calcium. But cells, the last pathological process they go through is calcium entering it. So if you see deposits, it's no big deal. It doesn't necessarily mean cancer. So there's a lot of false negatives, and then if it's hard to get false positives because they confirm it with ultrasound. So let's just use the ultrasound is what I say.
And just to be clear, if people can't believe what you just said, if they just check conventional literature, search the internet, any search engine, does this radiation to the breast increase the risk of cancer? The answer is without a shadow of a doubt, yes. Am I right?
Absolutely. I think it's when I was writing a paper for it back about 10 years ago, it was responsible for an increase of 1,300% increase in ductal carcinoma in situ from radiation. So if you get it every year, like your mother did, 10 years, if she stopped getting them or never got them, she would probably not have gotten it. Or she may have, but who knows? I'm just saying her risk went up tremendously by getting the mammograms. And therefore, if the truth were to come out, then we would have to hold her doctors and the radiologists accountable, right? Little good that does you when you've got cancer. What does it good you to win a lawsuit? So what? You got cancer. You've already got that problem. If you stay in their system, I'm talking about. But by the way, if you go to an integrative physician who really knows what they're doing, cancer is simply a word, not a sentence, not a death sentence.